Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Saturday, March 21st, 4 p.m. Mountain Time 2020. The models are in, and there's snow coming to the Northeast. Yes, it's true, starting Monday, and then a second event next weekend. While the West will be buried through April, and British Columbia is looking for some record snow in the first week of April. Take a look. But the big news, Colorado and Nebraska smacked by a blizzard as spring began yesterday. It cleared up as fast as it fell down, but spring officially began Thursday in the earliest start of the season in 124 years. Wind whipped snow caused major disruptions from the Colorado Rockies through Nebraska, as much as 23 inches of snow accumulating near Nederland, according to sources. Keep calm. It's springtime. Storm developing could bring flooding to the south and snow to the northeast by Monday. We're going to check the totals, and they're deep. I mean, rainfall. A new storm will bring some possible flooding in parts of the South Sunday. It's true, beginning Sunday with some parts of the Northeast on Monday as a coastal storm develops. We're going to get to the models, so stick with us. Snow will fall in parts of the Northeast as the first full week of spring begins. And let's see what
You
Heather
look at
has
the
to say.
pattern in the early part of the week, we've got an area of low pressure that's going to be developing along the coast. And with that, we've got this area of high pressure to the northeast, and that's going to draw down all this very cold air. And because of that, some areas will be picking up some snow. So
Did she just put down what we're picking up, or is she picking up what we're putting down?
watch that snow moving in as we go through our Monday, but many of these areas will transition from snow to rain as some warmer air works its way in. But still into the Northeast, Monday evening, we're talking snow. Even areas like New York and Boston could start as some snow, but then changing over to rain. And then as you can see, as we go into Tuesday morning, still in New England, looking at some areas of snow. Now, as far as snowfall amounts, the highest elevations, that's where we'll see the most snowfall, and certainly
Highest elevations get the most snowfall. That's how it works, typically. Nor'easter to bring snow to Massachusetts Monday. Here's how much you could get: a large swath of 6 inches or more. In the western areas, new storm system showing up as possibly for Detroit and Ann Arbor, southern Michigan even. And it appears as if Top Knot's boyhood home may even get covered. Again, it doesn't look like a huge snowstorm. There are still some inconsistencies in the track, but it goes right through Kalamazoo, potentially. Heads up, Top Knot. You might get a dusting. Sunny but chilly Saturday. Snow by Sunday night. There are your numbers. Kalamazoo, 2.3 inches. And that's a boom in the crosshairs. A day of spring in upstate New York, then a 50-degree plunge to winter. Look at those totals. Temperatures will drop sharply in upstate New York this weekend from a high in the 70s on Friday to the teens by Sunday morning. Hopefully, you won't catch a cold. Strong storms, heavy rain, and flooding possible over the southern U.S. Some strong to marginally severe thunderstorms, heavy rain, possible flooding will spread from the south to the southeast of Texas into the lower Mississippi Valley and south this afternoon through Sunday. Early next week, a coastal storm may clip the northeast and New England with rain, gusty winds, and maybe some wintry precipitation. And let's just work through the models together. And we're back to give you the forecast that you've been looking for. We just had a little technical difficulty there. So let's take it through here. Here's your Sunday into your Monday. And Monday, that storm will move through the Midwest and into the Northeast there. Just a small amount of snow, heavier snow in upstate New York, or upstate Pennsylvania, New York, and New England there. The higher elevations. Snow moving into the Sierras starting now and continuing all week. Take a look at that while the West gets buried. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then Thursday, Friday is going to bring another system up through the Northeast. And all the while, it's going to be raining in the south here. And let's just go check some of the total precipitated water for you guys, if I can move this out of the way. And we're going to come over here to the total precipitated water to just show you what that means. As those snow systems move from the west to the east, it's going to deposit as rain down here. More rain than rainwater equivalent everywhere else. And these are already saturated areas. Take a look at this as we enter April. We're going to see heavy flooding in Mississippi, Alabama, potentially Georgia, South Carolina, Pennsylvania, the entire Mississippi Valley. And this does not bode well as we enter spring, this type of rain. We're talking some of these areas 10 to 14 inches in the next 2 weeks. And look at the snow that's going to dump in BC. So that's a big heads up as we move into April. 5.0 earthquake reported near Carson City, Douglas Line. We just had a weird quake in Salt Lake, followed up by another weird quake in Carson City, which has already been downgraded to 4.5, according to the USGS. This is in a very unpopulated area. From Reno to Incline Village to South Lake Tahoe, people across the region felt a 5 magnitude earthquake that has been downgraded. And let's take a look at that on the map. There she sits, 4.5. That is a downgrade of 500 orders of magnitude, by the way. In case you were wondering, that's how off they initially were. 500 magnitudes off, and now the official numbers coming in. We also have a pretty significant quake over here in Greece at 5.7, which they did not downgrade. We have a quake in the East African Rift Zone at 5 magnitude near the Comoros, and we've been waiting for some type of submarine volcanic activity to emanate from there, and that is still our position. So we're watching this closely. There are no other quakes of note, and we're watching it closely for you because you have lots of stuff to keep your minds on. Worldwide Volcano News Update. No volcanoes of particular interest. Popo is glowing and can be seen by millions, and Klyuchkov is puffing to 23,000 feet and can be seen by just 3 people. A second dust bowl could trigger worldwide food shortages and price hikes, study suggests. The only problem with the study is it's based on no facts. The Earth has been greening since the onset of global warming. The increased CO2 greens the Earth. And this just coming out proves that it's getting even greener. And with increased cosmic rays, increased flooding, precipitation, almost no droughts in the United States left, the whole concept of scaring people into a dust bowl is completely ridiculous. Yes, it's wetter than ever, it's greener than ever, and crops are better than ever, in case you haven't seen the reports. 2 new astonishing shark species discovered in the Indian Ocean. And this one is a saw shark. It's a bottom dweller, and it has literally teeth coming out of the side of its mouth. Now, this doesn't live that deep. It has an ecological niche of 20 to 35 meters, and it's very rarely seen. And these scientists are claiming that they need to know more about that because we could be killing them. That's how ridiculous science has gotten. We don't even know about this species. We just discovered it, and we're worried that we're killing it when we didn't even know it existed. This is a sign of the times. Unprecedented preservation of fossil feces from the La Brea poop pits. This is a sign of the times, the nature of science. From the poop pits. Ancient Mayan kingdom with pyramid discovered in southern Mexico. This newly discovered Mayan kingdom wasn't powerful. I mean, what kind of a headline is that? But its allies may have kept it safe. If you can make bas relief carvings like this, I think you pretty much have some power. But the way we talk about ancient cultures and ancient man is that they were just so sick and dumb and sad. I mean, we're so much more awesome today, we can't even stop the cold from shutting down the whole society. That's how awesome we are. These Mayans, they were insignificant. The lost city of Heraklion, discovered deep underwater after 1,200 years. Now, this perfectly carved, extremely hard piece of granite is completely unexplainable. But yet people will say 3,000 years ago we were much dumber and we lacked all the technical amazingness of our current society. Now, the lost city of Heraklion, discovered deep underwater, is estimated to be thousands of years old. And the fabulous story of Helen of Troy comes from that era. Here it looks like a basalt tablet. I don't think you can understand the hardness of these rocks. We need diamond blades and CNC machines to cut things like this today. And yet they're laying at the bottom of the ocean. If you're not pissed about the misinformation you've been spewed your whole life, I don't know how to piss you off. anymore. There's already thousands of videos on Egypt and ancient tools and technology, and nobody cares. Still not being taught in our schools. Well, they're all closed anyway, so who cares about that? But take a look at some of the amazing symmetry on this granite statue. No one has any explanation on how they carved this during a time of only copper tools. So, please, if you have any explanations, get at me. But the lost city of Heraklion, where Helen of Troy once lived, has been discovered. Now, a newly discovered comet Atlas is getting people's panties in a bunch. It could shine as bright as the moon when it makes its closest approach to Earth in May, but no one has any idea how to predict that. So nobody knows. Or it could just dud out and dive into the sun, be done with, or it could just wrap its way around the sun and go back out to space. The former two are more likely. But if there is some space weather during this solar minimum in the next few months, and I imagine there will be, potentially in the direction of this comet, expect this baby to light up like a firecracker. Now, that's not the real electric comet we're waiting for. That's Comet Pan-STARRS that's coming in a year or so, 2 years, 22, 23. So we're going to be waiting for that. That was the comet that lit up past Uranus just about a year ago. And so we're going to be waiting for that actual proven electric comet to light up as it comes in. But this newly discovered Atlas comet, well, I'm sure the religious freaks are going to be picking up on this, and it's the end of the world, I'm sure. Right? Wait for it. Saturn is entering Aquarius for the first time in 26 years. Now, this is astrology. And you know what that means? Well, I'm going to break it down for you. It means accountability and tough love are the name of Saturn's game. And the hard lessons it encourages you to learn correlate with the themes of whatever sign it's traveling through. And it's traveling through the sign of the times. Saturn in Aquarius is determined to shake up, rewrite the rules, and change the world for the better. One can only hope that this will actually occur. While the U.S. government and the Navy patents anti-gravity spaceships when you weren't looking, and the mainstream doesn't report on it, we were looking for solutions. And the Rocky Mountain bee supply still has 3-pound bee packages regardless of the quarantines. You could still pick these up. That is for delivery at the end of March or the end of April and the beginning of May. All their classes have been canceled, but you can still get bees. So if you live in the Colorado Springs area and you want to risk actually making honey and go get some bees sometime at the end of April or May, look up Rocky Mountain Bee Supply and get some bees. And maybe look for the spaceship coming out of the mountain there near NORAD. Hope you got something out of the video. Times are changing. We will be doing a WUFU update later today. And I hope you all watched the interview I did with Reality Check. And while we have this time to shelter in place, you could be reading a book on how to grow things. You could even be planting seeds. Imagine that. Surviving and thriving and learning a skill. Sounds awesome to me. Be safe. We love you.